Welcome to the Make Ready with the Experts podcast. I'm your host, Fernando Coelho. We're here at Panteao Studios bringing you the very best from in and around the firearms industry, covering topics like guns, gear, firearms training, self-defense, and so much more. Everything from industry insights about the latest gear and training techniques to hunting, survival, and empty hands. But this isn't just about the guns, folks. This is about the stories. The military, law enforcement, and civilian stories of heroics protecting our country, fellow citizens, friends, and neighbors.
Panteao.
MakeReady.tv is the official website of Panteao Productions and features over 5,000 segments from world-famous instructors. With new video titles added each month, MakeReady.tv is widely known as the Netflix of firearms training. However, we really do go beyond that. We have survival series, we have empty hands, we have edged weapons, we cover armorer skills, we've done documentaries, even medical, and hunting. With your subscription, you will have access to an extensive library of videos. To be quite honest, we got a lot. Be sure to visit MakeReady.tv and subscribe today to stream our exclusive content to any device, anywhere, anytime. This is content that just may save your life or the life of someone you love. Ladies and gentlemen, for your entertainment value, we have two key people besides the crew. We have Keith Garcia.
Hello.
Legend extraordinaire. Shoots 3 guns sometimes. Pretty good at it, actually.
Thank you.
And then we have Pete Brown.
I don't shoot 3 gun. I'm not very good at it.
He sucks at 3 guns.
That's right.
Some people may know him from 3 Gun Nation. He's also our editor, who makes him look good.
It's an easy job.
Dude, you're fucked.
I know, right?
So,
I know, especially after these past 2 days. Holy
Yes,
shit, do
yes.
I have my work cut out for me.
Absolutely.
Ah, I love
So-
you too, Pete.
Here we are, day 2 of a 3-day shoot. We figured we'd sit down, say hello to everybody, and I'm just here to keep these two. This is like an Oreo cookie. I'm trying to keep these two separated. So
Pete couldn't keep his hands off
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 2 days.
Yeah.
In case you don't know, we know each other. We've got a history.
There's some history.
yes, and I have photos.
Yeah,
I may actually have video.
it might be on the internet. Who knows?
Oh,
It
boy.
probably is. It probably is. So now tell me, when did you first meet this knucklehead over here?
Well, the first time I met him, I was scared shitless, but it wasn't because I met him or didn't have anything to do with him. I was scared shitless because I was kicking off the 3 Gun Nation TV show / shoot off events, and it was our very first event, and it was at Superstition Mountain, probably one of the most famous 3 gun matches ever. And somehow we convinced the match director to let me and my partner put on a shoot off for cash at the end of their event. And we to back you up a little bit, we kicked off the series, and basically the way it worked was the top 8 shooters in the match got to, at the end of the event, got to shoot off, which is a man-on-man race to the last target. And the top 8 shooters got into the
man against man.
Yeah, man against man.
Man on man is a whole different thing.
You're involved, so it's man on man. So usually
Here
it's
we
man
go.
against man, but since we're
We're
talking
not
about
that far
you,
into this.
I
It's
just
man
want to make
on
sure
man.
we're on the same page.
all right. So it's this man on man shoot off starring Keith Garcia at the end of the Superstition Mountain 3 gun match, and this is in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my partner, who were both bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, had this great idea for 3 gun shooting. And so at the end of this match, we're running around all weekend filming this match with our video cameras. You know, it was just me and him just running around, running and gunning, as you know how that goes.
Yes, yes.
And we get to the end of the event, and the whole match is up on this embankment under the awning, and we're down on the range. So it's like, it was kind of like the Indians coming over the over the mountain. You know, they're all tired. It's been 2 days of hot weather shooting in the Arizona sun, and they're like, who in the fuck is this 3-Gun Nation, and why do I care about this goddamn shoot-off?
Well, let's make sure we understand why everybody was upset, because they were holding up the prize table.
Yes,
until the conclusion of the shoot-off. Yes. So no one could collect their gifts.
That's right.
Their prizes from their match until Pete and Chad were done running their shoot-off.
That's right.
So they were holding everybody hostage.
Yeah, they
no
couldn't
goodies until they're done.
Yeah,
Correct.
they couldn't get their prizes. They couldn't get to their they could get to their beer coolers, I guess. But yeah, we were holding up the show because we had to film this shoot-off for TV, and we wanted an audience, and the only way we could guarantee an audience is if we told them they couldn't get their prizes until it was over.
That's why there was a hostile audience, because there was only 8 of us who got to shoot. Yeah. Everybody else watched and was hoping that we'd get done quick.
Yes, but as it turns out, so before I conclude this little anecdote, I remember being down on the range, and this is Chad and I's first thing ever. We're shitting ourselves, scared, just nervous as hell. And Chad tries to do a big warm up, and he goes, "Who's ready for a shoot off?" And that's exactly what you heard. Crickets. 200 people standing there in dead silence. And I looked at Chad. Chad looked at me, and we're like, "Oh my God, what did we just get ourselves into?"
I have in my hand the top 8 for the inaugural 3-Gun Nation shoot-off. These shooters have won their division or placed high enough in the field that they're going to get to take their shot at $5,000. Here are those contestants.
But as it turned out, once the shooting started, people started to warm up to it, and we had a lot of cheers by the end of the event, and it was some electric shooting, and Keith wound up taking out the Mike Tyson of 3-Gun at the time.
Okay, Mike Voigt, the 9-time national 3-Gun champion. Well, we're going to shoot 3 guns, and I'm going to shoot against Mike.
I said, well, here's $100. You just walk away, and I'll just give you that. And he didn't buy into it at all.
When you beat me, just make it look good, all right?
I'll wait for you. You wait for me. You wait a while. I'll let you know when to start.
And he's a great guy, class act, USPSA president, just, all around. He's done a tremendous amount for the sport.
Keith knocked him out, took $5,000 home.
So since the top 8 guys got to shoot, you had the best shooters in the match going up there to compete against each other, and it was kind of early in my shooting career. I was doing good, but there were a lot more well-established shooters, and we had some really good shooters in that shoot-off. So just being able to participate, and the difference being we had to shoot other people's guns. We couldn't shoot our own guns. We had sponsored guns. F&H sponsored the event, and so there was a SCAR for the rifle, and a SLP shotgun, which happened to be the shotgun I shot already, and then one of their FN.
It wasn't actually; it was a Ruger.
Oh, that was a Ruger pistol.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was a real gem. One of them would shoot the 3rd plate over on the plate rack when aiming at the first one. The other one would shoot the first plate. So whatever one, it kind of mixed them up. Whatever one you got, I would take a sighter shot with the first shot to see what would fall down, and then start aiming, because you had to pick up somebody else's gun and shoot them, and that brought a whole different skill set to the front. I mean, everybody dials in their stuff for the match, and they're really comfortable with it. But when you have to go pick up somebody else's gun, like you pick up a 50-pound SCAR and start shooting with a suppressor on the end of it, and it's totally different, feel from what your gun is. And we're shooting plate racks at 50 yards, trying to do it fast, competing against the guy next to you, doing the same thing. Because you'd start off shooting, you'd run out, shoot the shotgun, and then or run out, shoot the rifle, then the shotgun, then the pistol, and you run it, get closer and closer to each other, and everything's downrange, but you're culminating with right at the end, you're shooting pistol, and you have two little overlapping poppers, and whoever hits theirs first, winds up on the bottom of these. And it was really exciting. It was the first time I'd seen anything like that, or got to participate in it. And it really changed things in 3-gun for the next 8 to 10 years.
All right, before we get started, let's remind these guys what they're going after, what they're competing for. A check for $5,000 presented by U.S. Palm in the first ever event of our tournament series, 3-Gun Nation. Let's hear it.
You're not wanting to make any big mistakes, so I don't want to have 3 or 4 makeup shots someplace. You can't go fast enough to make up for that.
Stand by.
Across those plates, went onto that stop plate and saw nothing but front sight, dead center, and that's where it hit, and that felt real good.
Our first ever check from U.S. Palm, $5,000 to our winner, Keith Garcia.
The shoot off, we didn't really invent it, but I guess we kind of brought it into the sunlight, I guess, so to speak. When my infatuation with 3-gun began several years before that, when I was working for the NRA, and we would go to all these different shooting matches, and I don't want to point fingers at any different shooting match. Every discipline of competitive shooting has its pluses and minuses, but when I saw 3-gun, it was like my hair got blown back. I was just like, what is this? This is like the X Games. The shooting sports had an X Games, right? 3-gun was it, and right then and there, it was the DPMS Tri-Gun, and I got to meet Randy Luth for the first time, which was also, I'll never forget that, one of the great people in this industry.
Absolutely.
And he really took, Chad and Randy and I talked a lot about 3-gun, and he really he was very supportive of, us trying to take it to a broader spectrum. He was really behind us. And so when I first learned of 3-gun, now whenever I was on assignment for the NRA, I was pushing to go to 3-gun matches. And that was basically the idea to start 3-Gun Nation, which also kind of coincided with a kind of a pivotal time where the internet and social media was starting to come on. It was starting to become this new thing, right? And then 3-Gun is kind of falling into there, and then we're right there in the middle of it. And we just there was just kind of this wave, I guess, for 6-7 years.
Oh yeah, it was so nice. I would have sponsors calling me, trying to get me to shoot their products, just because I was going to be on this show, be in the shoot-offs,
nice,
and be on TV and hopefully make their stuff look good. So it was a pivotal moment. Chad and Pete did something that was really unique and awesome. By the way, it was just an awesome idea. They pulled it off. We had a good run, and everything was coming up 3-gun for a long time.
Yeah, with the biggest obstacle we had with it was creating media partnerships, and I say that because in this industry, in the gun industry, as you know, everything is based around sponsorships, and so when you're trying to promote a sponsor, that might not coincide with a different media entity's sponsorship agenda. And so it really makes it very difficult to get outside help. You kind of have to do it yourself. You know what I mean? And then when we're on the television show, we're trying to convince a television network, at the time it was NBC Sports, to promote a show that utilizes AR-15s. Even though, in my mind, 3-gun shooting was the ultimate argument for firearms ownership, especially AR-15 ownership. Not that you should have an argument. Obviously, we know that the Second Amendment has nothing to do with that, right? Sporting purpose. You know, there should be no. We shouldn't have to have that argument of sporting purpose when it comes to the AR-15. But the reality is, we're not dealing with like-minded people out there, right? So, what better way to show them that, hey, ARs aren't just about the zombie apocalypse. You know, ARs aren't just a military weapon. ARs are a recreational tool.
Absolutely.
And this is the most shining example of how they can use an AR for recreation. Because let's face it, man, go to the range and you plink, okay, you wouldn't be this good of a shooter today if that's all you had available to you was plinking.
Absolutely right. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if it weren't for competition in shooting sports, you know, you would probably lose interest.
Yeah, it would be a little fun pastime to do once in a while with your friends.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. If it wasn't for the organization, you know, competitions, prizes, sponsors, that drives things. Let's face it, that drives innovation. It really pushes everybody to get better. And
it creates relationships too.
Absolutely.
Friendships.
Yeah,
you know?
and enemies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we all know that.
No, in this industry.
Well, you know, there's some people are douchebags. So, what are you gonna do? But we didn't have any of those associated with Three Gun Nation.
No,
but,
not at all.
But I'll tell you what, it was the peak for this, you know, whole thing for me was 2014, 2015. Kind of like where I see the pinnacle when Three Gun Nation had a pro series. They invited the 50 top men and the 10 top females. We had 10 matches over that 2-year period where we all shot the same equipment, same day, same stages. So it wasn't like one day you're shooting long range when the wind's blowing, the next day somebody's got it sunny and nice. It was all, you know, 50, 75 yards and in, fast. You gotta hustle. You gotta shoot all the targets. You get penalties if you miss, but you really want to do, you know, just run on the razor's edge. Everybody same day, same gear, and we're talking guys who shot a bunch of different divisions and were national champions coming together. Everybody's going to shoot the same type of guns, and we're going to have the best guys on the range, and we're all going to go head to head. And to me, you know, when you can have a match like that and bring in the top guys and gals and just have it all hashed out that day, it really shows, you know, how quickly people can assimilate to a rule set, those guns, and then apply it. And over those 10 matches, there were only 2 winners. So myself and Daniel Horner split. He won 6, I won 4. He was a member of the Army Marksmanship Unit. So they, you know, excellent group of guys. That was their job in the military. And I was just a fat cop from California, so I felt pretty good about being able to compete at that level and getting some wins there. So it was a lot of fun.
It was basically Dan and Keith. You know, it was the Dan and Keith show. You know, neck and neck every match. I mean, there were other guys, you know, for sure that came in and out of the top, but it was Daniel and Keith were like, I guess you'd say like Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip or something like that. I mean, it was amazing to see the how you guys pushed it too. I mean, you guys were innovating on the fly. Like I mean, we'd have a match and it'd be like, whoa, you got something new here, you know?
Well,
like,
that and the fact that you'd have to, like, I'd watch somebody shoot. I'd watch Daniel shoot or, you know, Greg Jordan. And I'd consciously think, okay, that stage plan was a little better than mine, or he shot that faster than I can shoot my stage plan. So now I have to change my plan and take some risks so I can do better. So the end goal is to win. I want to win. I just don't want to, you know, be second place or third place. I want to win. So if I see a better stage plan or a better performance, then I'm going to change mine. And it may not be something that's really comfortable. It may require some, you know, more difficult shots that, you know, I'm going to be asked myself to make. but I'm going to do that because I want to win the match. And that competition was really, I think, it was great at the time. I mean, we were all running and gunning, trying to be the best.
Well, wouldn't you say though, and just in thinking about this, you branched off to do a lot of things, you know, not just 3-gun. I mean, you did the international shotgun competition, right? You went overseas for shotgun?
I actually couldn't accept that invitation. I couldn't get the time off to do it.
Okay, but you did do the NRA, the world shoot?
It's the drugs. They're coming back. He's thinking of something else.
He's still on them.
The acid flashbacks.
What have you done besides 3-gun though?
Well, I mean, so I did travel to the Philippines. I shot internationally over there.
Yeah.
We did a bunch of different matches. One was a multi-gun match.
The point is,
went to Canada, shot their match.
Right. So the point is, 3-gun has made you better overall.
Oh, absolutely. No, it helped me improve not only as a competitor, financially. Frankly, I made a lot of money doing it, so I was very happy with that.
Yeah.
Didn't you get a call from the Philippines, some gal asking about him? Something about a bunch of kids.
Something about a lawsuit.
She couldn't have kids. That was a dude.
Oh, ouch. Oh, shit. That's a whole other video.
Yeah.
Kidding.
No, you're not.
No, we had a great time. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I have some of my fondest memories is just not so much the events, but hanging out before and after the events. I mean, I think, you know, from a production standpoint, you know, we were hyper focused on, we had a lot of balls in the air. We had sponsors, we had the television show. Oh, and then by the way, we got to put the match on the ground and run the match, you know? So, I mean, talk about a mouthful, you know.
Well, you're talking about balls and mouthfuls.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, there was a mouthful of balls trying to get the sponsors to run the match. I'll tell you that.
Wow, I missed out a lot.
We do appreciate what you had to do to get those sponsors.
Yeah, boy, you have no idea.
Yeah, it's a lot of therapy.
I was over filming IDPA stuff, and I had no idea that in 3-gun there was mouths and balls and all this
strippers and
blow.
Yeah,
activity.
absolutely.
There was just Amy Jane, which was kind of.
Oh shit! I don't even want to ask. I'm afraid to ask. We had our own controversies in IDPA. We don't want to even get into those.
What, guys weren't using cover when they reloaded? What were we talking about?
Oh no. We had our fair share of. She's doing he and he's doing her.
That's terrible.
And then the underage, way over age, prison time.
You know, at 3-gun, I don't remember any real scandals like that.
No one went to jail.
No, that was more the pistol only crew. 3-gun, everybody's a little nicer. Yeah.
Well, most of our scandals took out in real time on the internet. You know, basically.
But it was more people being mad about, you know, not getting invited to a match or you know, something like that. It wasn't so much, you know, hey,
or stepping over a green line.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Green lines matter.
He cheated and blah blah, and that was extent of it. We didn't have as much of the controversies like some of the scandals, sexual scandals and stuff. But not that we didn't want them, we just no one would participate.
Yeah, we tried to have them, but they just wouldn't come to fruition.
We just didn't film them. I mean,
no. Well, we wound up one scandal, I guess, is sort of a scandal. We hired a on-camera personality to do kind of like the back and forth on the range, because we had Pat. And
by back and forth, he means interviews.
Interviews,
Not,
yeah.
I was going to say, because you hired a fluffer?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, really?
No, that's my job.
Oh, Pete was good. See, look at those forearms.
No, we hired a sideline reporter, you know, kind of like an NFL style sideline reporter, whatever.
A gal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And said this person said they were a Marine, weren't a Marine.
Oh, that's right. Stolen valor.
Yeah. It was like after we shot the entire season. Right. You know, the season's in the can, taped, done, edited, ready for network, and boom, this person stole valor. Stolen valor. Boom, it's 3-Gun Nation. They're stolen valor. I'm like, my partner's a Marine. So I'm like, no. But it's like it was like, another thing was like, we were on NBC Sports, which was like prime time when we were really rocking. And we were in negotiations with them to take 3-gun to Thursday nights from 7 to 8 p.m., which is a really good time slot. And it was right before Pro Football Focus with like the big football network people. And we were like, oh my God, this is awesome. And we're in the middle of these negotiations, and the Sandy Hook shooting happened.
Oh, damn.
And yeah, and so 2 days after that, we were notified that we were no longer welcome on the network. And it's hard to feel. On one hand, you're like, damn liberal bullshit, blah blah blah. You're taking this perfectly good thing and you're ruining it over something that has nothing to do with what you're trying to stand up against. But then again, you're thinking, how do I feel sorry for myself? You know what I mean? How do I'm sitting there just thinking to myself, well, my God, all those kids are dead, and I want to feel sorry for myself about losing a time slot or being on a network. I can't do that.
That's a grown-up way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Like I say, it stopped momentum a little bit, but it came back.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it did. We did our best. I mean, we didn't have the opportunity for that big jump into the mainstream anymore. You know what I mean? With like Sportsman Channel, Outdoor Channel, you're kind of preaching to the choir, with those networks, which is fine. There's a big audience base to reach there, and we did a great job. But I couldn't help but I was so enthralled with 3-gun. I just couldn't see how a bass tournament could be on ESPN and the winner gets $1 million from Walmart, and guys like Keith didn't have that opportunity. Because you told me when you saw in these past 2 days and the skill level that it takes to do what you saw Keith do, there is an argument that is exactly as much skill, if not more skill, than a guy playing poker or a guy playing bass or bass fishing. Why does our competitive shooting community not have that same opportunity? And the reason is because of the sector of our country that is ignorant to firearms.
Well, they're not even ignorant to it. They hate it. There's the NRA has been fighting this battle for a long time because there's people who actively organize to come after our Second Amendment rights, and it's unfortunate. They want to tell us, they want to be the nanny state. They want to tell us how to act, how to operate, what we can and can't have, and that's not the American way. So I appreciate you putting up that fight. We had a great time. It was a great run.
Yeah.
That may have come to an end, but you know what? Who knows? Maybe you'll do it again sometime.
Yeah. You know what? Hanging out with you the past couple of days, might have to scratch that itch. I don't know.
Well, there's going to be some itches. I can tell you that.
I knew that was the wrong term to use. But one last thing on 3-gun. So Keith, during the heyday, we had our shoot off. We decided to move our shoot off during SHOT Show week at Clark County Range in Las Vegas. And 2 years in a row, we did it on Wednesday night after SHOT Show was closed. And this was a strategic maneuver by Chad and myself to position the sport in front of all the movers and shakers and the right people in the industry at the right time. And so you talk about like running a TV show, running a match, running an organization, talk about that stress. Think about renting 10 Greyhound buses and coordinating them picking up passengers at SHOT Show, getting through the strip to Clark County Range by like 7:30 p.m., getting the match completed by like 9:30, and then having all these VIPs roll in and having oh my God,
so
you guys did an
incredible job, because not only were all those factors in play, but I mean, they served food, they served drinks, they had, and it was cold as, I mean, it was in the 20s and low 30s, a couple of those shoot-offs. We had heaters out there just so you could basically feel your hands to shoot. But they pulled it off, and that's the thing. I mean, I remember in 2013, we had Oliver North came out, gave us a pep
Oliver
talk.
Norwood came in.
Our singer,
Mark Wills.
Great. Was it 18 again? Was that his big song?
Yeah.
So he sung
he
that,
was a big guy.
and then did the national anthem. Great guy. And then we got to the shooting, and it was dark. We did it at night, so it's dark. We got the lights. Clark County's range is perfect because there's not a lot of stuff in the background. You're just focusing on the shooting. And although it was cold, it was a lot of fun. We had all the heavy hitters there that night.
Yeah, I mean, Mike,
sounds cool.
You, Daniel, Mike Voigt,
Barry Duke,
Taryn
Butler, Burton Thompson.
Yeah.
So we had a group. Anybody could win. And
Jerry
Mitchell.
Jerry did, not only did he compete, but then he did a demonstration, trick shooting demonstration out there. But I think I'll argue the greatest moment in shooting sports history. I'll argue it. Nobody, maybe I'll have opposition, but I'm sure I will. But Keith gets all the way to the very end, and man, the pressure's on. You're up 2-1. You're up 2-0. No,
1-0. So you best of 3. I won the first one.
Okay, yeah, 1-0. So Keith's up 1-0. If he gets this done, $50,000 in your pocket. I mean, and we had 800 people out there watching.
Easy. Yeah.
And so we had, a honest to goodness sports audience, out there cheering on every shot, on every plate. There's a roar of the crowd when the so-and-so won. It was electric, man. And Keith, he wins. He turns to the crowd, and I get this perfect shot of the crowd behind him, and Keith's like this, and it was like something you'd see in I don't know, all the sports movies that you ever watched. And Keith does a victory lap. He goes around and he's high-fiving and doing a victory lap, and I'm chasing him with my camera. It was probably the coolest thing ever, man. It was awesome. So I always have a special place in my heart for Keith for pulling that out that night. That was real showmanship, man. It was really cool.
Well, thank you. I hadn't planned on it. I mean, I wanted to win, but when it happened, it was just completely spontaneous. I just wanted to share it with the crowd because they were cheering, and I felt good about it. So I ended up going around and getting a lot of positive feedback as I was making my rounds around the stadium there, and it was fun. It was just a lot of fun. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So thank you for organizing.
Oh man, hey, thanks for being a part of it.
After hearing about the Garcia twist before we started filming, and I'm like, is Keith going to dance? What's he going to do? I heard he did his victory lap. What's he going to do?
If it's called the Garcia twist, there has to be sexual innuendo in it.
Oh, good Lord.
That is how you came up with that name.
No.
Well, hey, all joking aside, we just filmed a killer video for Panteao. And
you guys were filming?
Yeah, we were filming.
I thought we were just shooting guns.
Let's talk about that. I mean, it's...
that video we shot last week?
The video we just got done shooting today.
Oh, this one. Oh, damn.
What I envisioned when we talked about this was basically showing how I have done my training to improve, to get to a point where I can win matches, have won matches in the States and internationally. When I train, when you're busy, you got time constraints. You need to get stuff done. And I dry fire at night. And I knock out the weapon manipulation, the transitions between the guns in dry fire. And when I get to the range, I'll do that 6 nights a week. I go to the range on 1 day a week, and then I'm going to turn that into some live fire training where I just basically verifying what I've done in my dry fire is effective, and then I'm going to be able to shoot live fire and hit the targets, add in a little long range, practice a little shooting on the move, and I've done everything. And a majority of that has been done at home, at night, 10, 15 minutes a night. Mm-hmm. So no matter how busy you are, everybody can handle 10 or 15 minutes a night. So that was my key. And I think we were able to break it all down to where if people watch it, they can rewind it, get all the techniques, do it safely, practice it all dry. Mm-hmm. And then when you get out to the range, you'll have a script of what you need to do to practice and improve.
Yeah, and I really think you did a good job of writing that script over the past couple of days. Like for example, one of the key things in the video that I think is really going to be beneficial for the viewer is your demonstrations on the different loading and transitionings. Like, start with a unloaded, you know, on safe, one in the chamber, you know, nothing in the chamber, loaded to, you know, all the different variants that you might be asked to do in a 3-gun match. You know, you pretty much covered all of those, and you don't need, like you see on TV or on YouTube or something, you see a 3-gun and you see thousands of targets and you're running and gunning and diving and jumping and all these different things. But really and truly, what this video does, in my mind, is able to give the viewer something to reference that can train you for every example of what you'll see in a match, you know, regardless of the length of stage or, you know, how many targets are in, how many targets there are, whatever.
Right. You don't need to set up a huge stage to get quality practice in.
Yeah.
What you can do on a table dry fire, you can turn around and turn that into a small stage at the range.
Yeah.
And then you can reconfigure that stage, shoot it again, reconfigure it, shoot it again. It's all just takes minutes. You don't have to drag out 100 targets. You could literally do it with 3 or 4 targets and have good quality training.
Yeah. I mean, for example, you know, we had this whole video, we had 2 tables, 2 abandoned barrels, and a handful of steel targets, and that's really all. I mean, you don't even need the steel targets, but I mean,
don't say that.
Hey, steel definitely enhances. Those Grizzly steel targets totally enhance the flavor
Grizzly
of this
Targets
video.
is a sponsor, and everybody who shoots knows they want steel targets. So let's not argue that point.
Yeah.
But if you're like totally broke and all you got is a paper stand, and
absolutely,
you know,
you can get it all done that way. When you add in the addition of a steel reactive target, it just enhances the training, because not only, because if I was to set up like the precision event where I'm just trying to shoot fast out to 50, I got to go down there each time and tape up those targets and make sure I'm getting my hits. When I shoot on steel, I don't have to go down there because I know I've got that reaction. I don't see, you know, I see a splash on the target. I don't see splash in the dirt, and I'm going to be successful in that, recognizing what everything I did to be successful in getting that shot. Now, if I shoot paper and I go down there, I may or may not, I'm probably not going to fix it because I didn't know I missed in the first place. And then when I get down there, I'm not going to be sure which shot it was that I missed. So shooting steel definitely adds to the training value. So I appreciated that Grizzly Targets stepped up, donated some steel to this, because I think it enhanced the value for the viewers and for the experience that we had on the range the last 2 days.
And now, isn't Grizzly going to do like a big special promo with us? It's like buy 1, get 2 free, something like that.
Yeah, Bianchi, but it's got to be a Bianchi plate rack.
Yeah, Bianchi plate rack. You buy 1 Bianchi plate rack.
As long as you can pick it up.
You get 2 free.
Yeah, that was fun moving.
It's a nice setup. But
if you watch the video when Keith's shooting the shotgun on it, don't blink. You may have to see those plates go down, and you might have to go slow motion on your remote or something to watch. I mean, Keith can run a shotgun like a motherfucker.
Yes, he can.
I appreciate it. Yeah, those plates went down faster than a crack whore.
And Keith knows.
Not that I
Keith knows.
Keith knows.
And Keith knows
From
crack whore.
firsthand
He knows his
experience.
crack
He
whore.
knows.
He absolutely
Yes.
does.
Yeah. How quickly it degrades.
Yes.
I didn't see that coming.
Well, I'm glad we've been able to do this video, because it's been 10 years we've been filming videos now, and we never covered 3-gun.
Yeah.
We never had the right opportunity. We never had, it was either a matter of circumstances. We were so busy doing something. And then we finally have an opportunity to do a wide range of videos, and some shit comes up.
Right.
And then all of a sudden now it worked out that we were able to do it, and it was great. I mean, I call it introduction to 3-gun, but it's not. I mean that differently. It's introducing the viewer to shooting 3-gun, the fundamentals of 3-gun, and how to get yourself spooled up, or if you're already in it, to get yourself better. Not really this is a shotgun, this is a carbine, this is a handgun, this is how you're going to shoot it. And I like the way you were able to show the viewer what you can do on your own range and what you can do at home to get yourself better spooled up to shoot 3-gun, you know?
It's comprehensive. I mean, it really is comprehensive. I mean, we were actually able to cover a lot more than I was originally anticipating that we would be able to. And it's not just, you're like you said, it's not intro to 3-gun. It's like, okay, if you do this 25% of this video, you're going to be competent. But there's another 75%, a treasure trove of knowledge in there that can take you from intermediate to advanced, or advanced to more advanced.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of material in the video for sure.
Yeah, I think anybody who watches it's going to find something to benefit from. I've put a lot of time and effort into developing this curriculum. I've been teaching it for years, and each time I tweak it. I try and make it better and better and better, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And I thank you both for having me out to the range.
No, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And you train, right? So
I do.
So let's talk about that for a second. How can, if somebody wanted to take a class from you, you know, they watch a video and they're like, man, I want to.
Absolutely. Well, I understand I can use the range here at Panteao Sportsman.
Absolutely.
So we'll definitely schedule some stuff out here.
You could use the Fallujah Bay.
There we go.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. So if anybody wants to contact me interested in training, send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, and it's Keith Garcia 3-Gun, or just Keith Garcia on Facebook, and we can start that process. I'll give out my email then, and then we can talk about it. And I'm happy to come out. I'm happy to travel. That's, I think, the best way to do it is for me to go to a group of students. That's the way I've been doing it for some time. I've traveled a lot in the U.S. and Canada teaching, and it's a lot of fun. Actually, I guess I won't be traveling to Canada anymore.
No,
you won't. No.
Yeah. They even, that stupid motherfucker outlawed Black Rifle coffee. How stupid. Hey, douchebag in Canada, if you're actually watching this, I really hope you are. It was fucking coffee, Black Rifle coffee, you stupid motherfucker. Jesus Christ, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah.
You know?
The liberal mindset. I'll never understand it.
Yeah.
You know, we could have just kept going. You know, we stopped. We could have just took over Canada. You know?
we still can.
It's really cold.
We still can.
Really
I mean, if we wanted to, we could.
Why can't we just open up a tunnel for, from Mexico to Canada? Straight line.
Right.
You know?
I taught a class in Minnesota one year, and it's half Canadian, half American. Everybody from the area. And the Americans were giving the Canadians a hard time, and I stopped in the middle of the class and I said, the rest of the U.S. basically thinks this is Canada. To the guys from Minnesota, they didn't like that too
much. So we're going to have you come out and do classes here at our facility in South Carolina. We need to film more instructional videos.
Excellent.
There's bourbon to put away. We have bourbon to drink tonight.
Very good.
Since we're at the range facility, we can't be drinking bourbon as much as you wanted to.
I know.
This interview would have been way off track.
Yeah, and there is some apple pie, and I don't mean the kind in the tray, the kind in the jar. We have some apple pie.
That's illegal.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what it was given to me. It was a gift.
You found it.
I found it.
You found it. Yeah, we might as well drink it.
And it was not at the range. So, yes. So, anything else you have for our audience?
Well, I hope you're interested. Take a look at the video. I think you'll get something out of it. I think everybody can get something out of it. If you focus on that dry fire aspect of it, it really streamlines the training, and it makes you develop muscle memory that you will call upon under stress when that beep goes off in a match, and it will make you better.
I agree. And you have your hands full to get that edited because we got to get that edited.
Yeah.
We have to go to Texas to film season 2 of Wildcraft.
I know, it's going to be busy.
And we have 2 weeks of hell.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere.
I know. I just hope I come back in one piece.
32,000 acres. Hunting Aoudad.
Yeah.
Following the cast.
Yeah, we're filming a hunting show, Wildcraft, right after we leave in 3 days, 4 days.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it'll be cool. It'll be something.
I wish you guys luck. Be safe. Pete, wear your chastity belt.
Yes, absolutely. And you just keep wearing those leather chaps, those assless leather chaps.
All chaps are assless.
Now that I do have, you showed me the video of him in that.
Oh, absolutely. There's a website. There's a
did,
website.
yes,
I'll get, I'll tag the video.
That
You have
was
to get
Village people. That wasn't me.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this podcast. We apologize for abusing you this long, but we figured, what the hell? We're all here. Let's have some fun. Take care. Have a good one.
Hi, my name is Keith Garcia. I've been participating in 3-gun competitions for over 15 years. During that time, I've been fortunate enough to win local, state, national, and even international competitions. One of the highlights of my shooting career was in 2013 when I won $55,000 at the 3-Gun Nation shoot-off in Las Vegas. During my travels, I constantly get the question, hey, what should I be doing to get better? How do you train? So in this video, I'm gonna show you what I do, my dry fire routine that I do every night, what I take to the range, how I train at the range, how I improve my skill level by practicing at home and then confirm it when I go to the range, that it's actually working, that I'm improving. I've done that. I've trained 6 nights a week at home, go to the range once a week. I went from a mediocre shooter to winning national championships. I can show you my practice routine, and I know it's going to make you better.
For more on the Make Ready videos from Panteao, head over to makeready.tv, Panteao.com, subscribe, check out our content. There's a lot there. When you get a chance, go to Amazon.com or any other place you'd like to get your books from and check out 6 Minutes to Freedom, written by Kurt Muse and John Gilstrap. Definitely worth a read. Probably something you didn't know about. Probably something you didn't know about until you listened or watched this podcast.
Panteao.